everyone, today I'm going to be explaining to you how I've started to create this miniature sculpture that I'm working on here at my bench. This will be a replica of an eagle that is 5 foot wide and hangs on the outside of the Hamilton House in Salem, Massachusetts. Right now this eagle is being fully restored. It's carved out of wood and it was damaged in a fire. But my job as a miniature sculptor is to carve this out of wax. And here is the beginning of my project. So what I'm going to do is create this in 2 1/4 inches so that it can be cast in precious metal and worn as a pin. Now the way I started doing this was I reduced my images down, which you'll see I have an image right here for reference as I'm sculpting, and I also have an image here, and I have more artwork that I keep beside me that I refer to for capturing the fine details on the eagle. So everything is nearby. But in the beginning, as I said, I reduced it down and I put it on a blank piece of wax and outlined it on the wax. And from there, I carved away at the background and took away all of this material in the background, and what I ended up with was the eagle in relief. But the other part that's really fascinating about this entire process is that you can also add wax as well as take it off. So it's additive and subtractive. So what I do is I take this wax pen and I heat it up. I have a foot pedal on the floor on my left foot, and if I press it down, you can see that eventually it starts to get hot, and I can pick up some wax and add it right on to the sculpture to build it up. And that's how a lot of sculptors who work in wax create their pieces. They carve away, but they also add the wax on. So at this point, I've taken a lot of my tools that I use, and a lot of these tools are handmade, and I've carved away at the background to create the basic form. And I always have my artwork right in front of me, so I'll stop and look at this, and I work on sections at a time. So it's not like I'll do an entire section and move on, an entire section and move on. I create it as a whole so that the look and feel is consistent when I'm finished. So I don't want to do one wing one day and one wing the other. I'd like to do the top part here and the top part there, and then the next layer here and the next layer there. And then one day I'll work on these arrows, and the next day I'll work on the shield, and so on and so forth, because I like the look and feel of the piece to be consistent. And the people that I'm working for requested that we get these details as sharp and as crisp as possible. So right now, this is the beginning stage. There's quite a few hours that'll go into this. Once it's finished, once I have all the details that I want, what I'll do is I will cut this off with a saw blade and get rid of all this background. So what I'd like you to do is stay tuned, because I'll be updating these videos of this creative process, and I'll show you exactly how this is done step by step.